take a deep breath and let it go. Slowly, gently, feel the air move through you like a soft wave returning to the shore. Nothing to do now, nowhere to be, only this breath, rising and falling. Let your shoulders drop, let the weight you've been carrying begin to melt away. Your body knows how to rest, your breath knows how to guide you home. Tonight, as you settle into stillness, the world outside grows quiet. The moon has risen, casting silver light across the garden of your mind. Every sound, a lullaby. Every shadow, a gentle friend. There is nothing you need to fix, no story to retell, no past to replay. Only this moment, soft and alive. Somewhere nearby, a bell rings, its echo traveling through the night air, spreading calm like ripples on still water. You listen and feel your breath slow even more. In the quiet, the heart remembers what peace feels like. It remembers the rhythm of trust, the simple truth of being. If your thoughts wander, let them. They are clouds, moving through a vast sky that is not disturbed by their passing. You are the sky, wide, silent, free. Breathe again, deep into your belly. Let the breath expand gently and release. Each exhale, a soft surrender. The body relaxes from the inside out. Neck, shoulders, chest, hips, feet, everything loosening, like petals opening to the moon. You are safe here. You are held in this quiet temple of night. Outside, the world sleeps. Inside, you begin to awaken to something deeper than thought. The air is cool and clean, carrying the faint scent of sandalwood and rain. A breeze moves through the open window, brushing your skin with kindness. Somewhere, a lantern flickers, its flame steady yet alive, just like you. In this calm, you begin to feel time slow down. The rush of the day dissolves, and what remains is presence, a gentle, luminous presence that asks for nothing but your awareness. Maybe you've come here because the past still whispers, because memories cling like echoes that won't fade. Maybe your heart has been tired of holding what no longer belongs to you, and tonight you are ready to let go. You don't have to force it. You don't even have to understand it. Just breathe and allow the letting go to happen on its own. Imagine you are standing by a quiet river under moonlight. The surface glows, silver, still, except for the gentle movement of current beneath. Each breath you take is a ripple across the surface, soft, effortless. You reach down, pick up a small leaf, and place it on the water. It begins to drift away, carried by the flow, slowly disappearing downstream. That leaf is something you no longer need. A memory, a regret, a name, a moment that once was, and now is released. Watch as it fades from view. The water carries it where it needs to go. You don't have to follow. You don't have to know. The river knows the way. The river has always known. In the soft rhythm of breath and water, you feel something loosening deep inside. A doorway opening, a small light awakening. In the center of your chest, that light is not new. It's been there, waiting beneath all the noise and stories. It is the light of awareness, calm, compassionate, unmoved by what has passed. Let it shine gently, not to erase the past, but to embrace it with kindness, to whisper to every wound, thank you, to every ending. You can rest now. The night deepens. The air grows still. Somewhere, a bird stirs in its nest, then settles again into silence. The stars above seem closer than before, as if they are listening too. You breathe in the quiet. You breathe in forgiveness. Each inhale fills you with softness. Each exhale releases what has already served its purpose. Let your heart expand Like a lotus opening at dawn, let peace enter the space. Where pain once lived, there's no need to push anything away, no need to hold anything tight. Everything rises and falls, like the breath, like the tide, like life itself. You are safe. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Every sound around you, the whisper of air, the faint pulse of your own heartbeat, is part of the same sacred rhythm. This is not the end of anything. It is the gentle beginning of remembering who you are beneath all stories. For now, rest, breathe, trust the stillness that holds you. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are simply arriving where peace has always waited. Take another deep breath. Let it move through you, clearing, soothing, softening. Let every cell of your body remember the taste of silence. The moon watches over you. The night embraces you. And in this quiet space between breaths, you are whole. You are home. Your journey begins now. Notice the air moving in, cool, clear, touching the inside of your nose, filling your chest, expanding your belly, then feel it leave, warm and slow, like mist rising from the surface of a calm lake. Each breath connects you to this moment. Each breath reminds you, you are alive, right here, right now. Breathe again, a little deeper this time. Let the breath travel to every corner of your body, to your shoulders, your hands, your stomach, your legs, and as it moves, let it carry light, soft golden light, washing through every muscle, every thought, every memory. The air moves through you, like wind over water, gentle, continuous, effortless. Let your whole being sway with it, like a tree that no longer resists the breeze. Now, notice your face, the tiny muscles around your eyes, softening, your jaw unclenching, your tongue resting quietly against the roof of your mouth. The forehead smooths, the breath deepens. You are no longer holding anything back. Feel the crown of your head grow light, as if moonlight itself is resting there. It travels downward, across your neck, over your shoulders, down the arms, into the hands. Warmth gathers in your palms, as though something sacred is awakening within. Inhale and sense the chest opening, like the slow bloom of a lotus at dawn. Exhale and feel everything unnecessary drift away. The past, the noise, the striving, they dissolve, like smoke disappearing into sky. Now bring your attention inward, not to what you think, but to what you feel. The quiet pulse of life inside your body, the silent rhythm of the heart, the stillness beneath all movement. You are not the stories that passed. You are the awareness that noticed them. You are not the river of thought. You are the space through which it flows. Breathe into that space. Let it expand, wider than your skin, wider than this room, until you can sense the vastness around you, responding gently as if it knows your name. The night breathes with you. The trees outside move in rhythm. Somewhere, wind touches the chimes, and a soft note rings through the darkness. It lingers, and then dissolves back into silence, just like thought, just like memory, just like time. If your mind wanders, let it. Each time it drifts, bring it back with kindness, back to the breath, back to the body, back to this simple knowing, I am here. The air around you feels different now, thicker somehow, sacred, every particle charged with quiet awareness. You may begin to sense a presence nearby, a calm, ancient presence. Perhaps it is the echo of 1,000 monks chanting beneath the stars. Perhaps it is only the wisdom of your own soul returning. A door opens in your mind, and you find yourself standing within a moonlit garden. Stone paths wind through, tall bamboo and white plum blossoms. The air is fragrant, sweet with night jasmine. A single lantern glows ahead, its flame steady, like a heartbeat. You walk toward it, barefoot, each step slow and mindful. The earth beneath your feet is cool, the wind soft against your skin. You hear the sound of water, a stream flowing nearby, its rhythm matching your breath. As you approach, you see an old monk seated beside the stream. His robe is the color of earth, his eyes like still pools of water. He looks up and smiles, a smile that carries centuries of peace. He doesn't speak, he only gestures for you to sit beside him, and somehow you understand. You lower yourself onto the smooth stones, feeling their warmth from the day's sun, still lingering beneath you. The water glides by, clear as glass, reflecting the moon. You listen to the sound, a soft, endless whisper. In, out, in, out. It feels just like your breath. The monk closes his eyes, and you do the same. For a while, there are no words, only breathing, only stillness, only this quiet meeting of two awarenesses, yours and his, blending like mist and mountain. The stream hums softly, a song of release. You feel it echo through your chest. The flow of water becomes the flow of energy within you. The ripples mirror your thoughts, appearing, fading, never staying long. In this silence, you realize something. The peace you've been searching for is not somewhere outside. It is this breath, this awareness, this moment, exactly as it is. Stay here a little longer. Let the sound of water replace the sound of thought. Let the cool night air fill your lungs with clarity. Let the moonlight rest upon your skin. Like a blessing, you are safe, you are steady, you are beginning to remember. The monk opens his eyes. They meet yours. No words pass between you, but you can feel his voice inside your heart. It says, everything you are looking for is already within. Reva, Reva. A breeze moves through the garden, rustling the leaves, carrying the scent of rain. You inhale it deeply, pure, alive, free. The bell rings again in the distance. One clear note, then silence. You breathe, and in that breath, the body is soft, the mind is quiet, the heart is open. The night holds you gently, as if cradling something precious. You have arrived, not at a place, but at a state of being. The doorway to peace is open, and you are ready now to step through. The sound of water continues, soft, unhurried, a lullaby written by the earth itself. You sit beside the old monk in silence. The moonlight drifts across the stream, catching the small ripples. As they move gently downstream, he looks toward the flowing water, then to you. His eyes hold no command, no expectation, only presence, like a mountain that has seen every storm come and go, and has never forgotten how to stand still. After a long pause, his voice emerges, low and clear, like a bell sounding from deep within stone. This river, he says softly, has been flowing long before you arrived, and it will continue long after you leave. You listen. The words seem simple, but they sink into you, like rain into dry soil. Every drop of it, he continues, has touched countless places: mountain, sky, cloud, leaf, root, the breath of a bird. It carries all their stories, yet it never clings to any of them. The monk reaches down and lets his fingers trail across the surface. Circles form and vanish, each one fading before the next begins. That is how the past moves, he whispers, through you, around you, never stopping. You watch the ripples spreading, feeling something stir deep inside your chest, an ache you cannot quite name. The past, your past, seems to echo in those ripples. The faces, the words, the nights you replayed again and again. The monk looks at you, as if he knows. You cannot hold the river, he says, but you can learn to feel its movement without being swept away. He lifts a small cup, made of smooth grey clay, fills it with water, and offers it to you. Taste it. You take the cup. The water is cool against your lips, clear, pure, alive. He nods. The river does not reject what passes through it. It accepts everything. The fallen leaf, the moonlight, the tears of those who came before. But it does not keep them. It lets them flow. His words linger in the night air, slow and steady, like the movement of your breath. You gaze at the current, and for the first time, you notice how the surface reflects both the moon and your own face. Together, side by side, it feels as though the moon is not above, but within you. Its light, gentle and knowing, touches something hidden inside your heart. When you stop running from the past, the monk says, you begin to see its light. He closes his eyes, and in that quiet, you begin to feel what he means. Memories rise, not as pain, but as shapes of light moving through water. You see them, a childhood laughter, a face that once loved you, the day you said goodbye. Each one drifts before your inner eye, then fades. No resistance, no clinging, just movement, just flow. The monk's voice returns, barely louder than the sound of the stream. The past does not disappear. It becomes clear, transparent, like water returning to the sea. A breeze stirs the trees, petals fall into the stream, floating past you both. They turn slowly, reflecting moonlight as they go. You feel your chest loosen. A warmth spreads through you. Not joy, not sadness, something beyond both. A kind of quiet release. Tell me, the monk asks, what do you see in the water? You hesitate, then whisper, myself, and everything I've lost. He smiles gently, then keep looking. You do, and as you gaze deeper, the reflection changes. The faces blur, the images soften, until all that remains is light moving across the surface. You see, he says, the past was never something you had to fight, only something you had to see clearly. He picks up a pebble and drops it into the stream. The ripples spread out in perfect circles. Each action, each thought, each word is a stone cast into the water. The waves reach far beyond what the eye can see. Yet in time, the surface returns to stillness. It always does. You watch until the ripples fade completely. The moon returns to its perfect reflection, whole, undisturbed. The monk continues, his tone almost like a lullaby now. Your heart is like this water. When it is still, it mirrors everything perfectly. But when stirred by fear or memory, the image becomes distorted. The stillness is never lost, only hidden beneath movement. You breathe in deeply, feeling your own heartbeat, matching the slow rhythm of his words. The air seems thick with meaning. Even the silence between phrases feels alive, like an invisible teaching, being whispered directly to your soul. The monk's gaze turns toward the sky. The stars shimmer faintly, as though listening. One day, he says softly, you will look at your pain the way you look at these stars, distant, beautiful, necessary for the night to shine. He lets the words fade into quiet. Neither of you moves. The only sound is the endless song of the stream. Time dissolves. The line between breath and world, between water and moon, between you and him, softens. It is all movement and stillness. Together, after what feels like hours, the monk whispers, come, walk with me. I know to ride it. He rises slowly, his robe brushing against the stones, and you follow. The path winds through the garden, illuminated by moonlight and fireflies. The air hums with a silence, so deep it feels like a blessing. The river's sound grows fainter as you walk, yet its rhythm remains inside you, a steady pulse beneath your breathing. You realize you no longer carry the same heaviness. Something inside you has begun to change shape. It's not that the past has vanished, but that it no longer pulls. You look at the monk ahead of you, each step deliberate, each breath calm, and a quiet gratitude fills your chest. For the first time in a long time, you feel the possibility of peace. The path bends toward a soft hill, where lanterns glow like stars among the trees. Somewhere above, a temple bell sounds again, deep, resonant, rolling through the valley like thunder made of silk. The monk pauses, looks back at you, and smiles. The night still has more to show you, he says, and as you follow him up the hill, your breath and his fall into the same rhythm, steady, slow, like two rivers returning to the same sea. The monk walks ahead in silence. His steps make almost no sound, as if the earth itself were carrying him. You follow closely, each step matching the rhythm of his robe, the faint rustle of fabric in the moonlit air. The path curves upward. Lanterns hang from low branches, small flames swaying like golden petals in the night breeze. The world feels softer here, as though even time has slowed. To listen, the monk stops before a small pavilion. A single candle burns inside, its flame steady, casting circles of light that fade into shadow. He gestures for you to sit. You both kneel upon the wooden floor. The scent of sandalwood drifts through the air. For a while, there is only breathing, the faint crackle of the candle, the hush of wind beyond the trees. Then, the monk speaks. Everything changes, he says quietly. Nothing stays the same, not the river, not the moon, not the mind that watches them. He reaches for a small bowl filled with water. In the candlelight, the surface shimmers like liquid glass. He dips his finger into it and traces a slow circle. See this ripple? It travels outward, touches the edge, and then disappears. But it never truly ends. It becomes part of what is beyond our sight. You nod. Something in his tone feels like truth, not spoken, but known. This is impermanence, he says. It is not meant to frighten you. It is the rhythm that allows life to dance. The candle flickers, and shadows sway like gentle ghosts across the floor. When you cling to what is fading, he continues, you suffer. But when you allow things to move, to rise and fall, like waves upon water, then even sorrow becomes soft. You lower your gaze to the bowl. The ripples fade, leaving the water smooth again. In it, you see your reflection, fragile, alive, changing with every flicker of the flame. It's hard to let go, you whisper, even when I understand. The monk smiles faintly. Understanding is of the mind. Letting go happens in the heart. I was Zisten. He lifts the bowl and pours the water slowly onto the earth outside the pavilion. You watch it disappear between the wooden planks, absorbed into the soil. When you release something, he says, you return it to the whole. Nothing is lost. It only changes form. The air feels lighter, the night quieter, as if the world has just exhaled. The monk looks at you again. Do you know what karma is? You hesitate. I've heard it means cause and effect, that our actions return to us. Is now a good of making mold? He nods slowly. That is true, and incomplete. He takes a small seed from his sleeve, a tiny thing, barely visible in his palm. Every thought, every word, every action is a seed. Most people plant them without watching where they fall. Some grow into flowers, others into thorns. But the earth makes no judgment. It simply nurtures whatever is given to it. He presses the seed gently into the soil. This is karma, not punishment, not reward, only the unfolding of causes and conditions. What you experience now is not retribution, but continuation, the echo of what was once begun. You watch his hand linger in the dirt, soft, deliberate. Then, can the past be changed? You ask. He shakes his head slowly. The past cannot be undone, but the heart that carries it can be transformed. He sits back, folds his hands together. When you meet pain with resistance, it deepens its roots. When you meet it with compassion, it begins to loosen. That is the power of mindfulness, to meet what arises without fear or judgment. He looks up toward the open sky. Mindfulness, he says, is not about controlling thoughts. It is the art of seeing clearly, of standing still in the middle of the river and feeling the current move through you without losing your balance. You close your eyes, and for a moment, you can almost feel it, the current of the past moving through you without pulling you under. The monk's voice lowers, a gentle whisper now. When you practice this awareness, compassion arises naturally. You begin to see that everyone you've ever met, friend, stranger, even those who hurt you, are caught in their own tides of cause and effect. You stop blaming and start understanding. You open your eyes again. He's looking at the seed he planted, his face calm, illuminated by candlelight. To be compassionate, he says, is to see the roots beneath another's pain, to know they suffer, because they, too, have forgotten their own stillness. You feel a quiet ache in your chest. Old memories surface, faces you turned away from, words you never said, moments you still replay. The monk notices. Bring them here, he says gently. All of them. You hesitate, then close your eyes again, and suddenly, the faces appear, each one standing before you in the dark. People from your past, some you loved, some you lost, some you still blame. Your breath trembles, your chest tightens. Don't push them away, the monk's voice says softly. Let them be seen. So you do. You let the faces remain. You let the memories breathe. And as you watch, they begin to change. The harsh lines soften. The eyes grow kind. Each face becomes like a lantern, warm light glowing where pain once lived. When you look with compassion, the monk says, you see that no one ever truly meant to harm. They were only seeking peace in the only ways they knew. A tear escapes your eye. It falls and disappears into your lap. He continues, his tone even gentler now. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means you stop carrying the fire. You stop burning yourself to keep the past alive. Silence fills the space again. It feels sacred, like the moment before dawn. The candle's flame dances, and you notice something subtle. The smoke rising upward, twisting, disappearing into the night. That is how release happens, the monk says. It doesn't fall, it rises. You breathe in deeply. The air feels clean, new. Something within you, a knot long held, begins to untie itself. The monk smiles. The past will visit you again, he says. It always does, but each time, it will find you softer. He stands slowly. Outside, the first hint of dawn brushes the edge of the sky. Come, he says. The garden awaits. There is one more thing to see, and as you rise to follow, you notice that your steps feel lighter, your breath quieter, your heart a little more open than before. The monk leads you down the path. The air has shifted. A whisper of dawn now hums through the trees. Mist clings to the earth, soft and silver, like the breath of the night refusing to leave. Neither of you speaks. There is only the rhythm of walking, the brush of fabric, the quiet song of wind moving through bamboo. When you reach the garden, the world feels suspended, as if everything were holding its breath for the first light to return. Before you lies a pond. The surface is still, reflecting the faint glow of the sky, and there, rising from the dark water, are lotus buds, closed, patient, waiting. The monk stands beside you, his eyes fixed on the flowers. This is where the teachings live, he says softly, not in words, but in the way the world awakens. He kneels at the edge of the pond and touches the water. Ripples travel outward, thin circles of light. Do you see? He asks. The water moves because of the wind. The wind exists because of the air. The air dances because of the warmth of the sun, and the sun rises because of the turning of the earth. Nothing stands alone. You watch as the ripples widen, touching one another, merging until the pond becomes a living mirror. We call this interbeing. He continues. Everything is connected. Every sorrow, every joy, every birth, every ending, each depends on countless others. You kneel beside him, drawn into the reflection. Your own image shimmers there, surrounded by water, light, and mist. He takes a breath. The water, he says, is the river of life, always flowing, always changing. You cannot step into the same stream twice, and yet it is always the same water, returning in another form. You remember his words from the night before. You cannot hold the river, and now, as you gaze at the water, you finally understand. It was never meant to be held, only to be seen, to be felt, to be honored as it passes. A soft wind brushes your cheek. It smells of wet earth and early blossoms. You close your eyes and feel it move through you, not around, but through, as if your breath and the wind were the same movement wearing different shapes. The wind, the monk says, is the breath of the world. What you inhale has touched the mountains, the oceans, the stars, and what you exhale becomes the air that gives life to every living thing. He pauses, letting the thought settle. So tell me, where do you end, and where does the world begin? You breathe again. The answer is silence, not the absence of words, but the presence of knowing. The wind deepens. It ripples the pond, sending small waves toward the lotus buds. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the first one begins to open. The petals unfold, pale and luminous, in the grey light of dawn. Each layer catches the wind, quivering, alive. The monk's voice softens. This lotus, he says, grows from mud, from decay, from the darkness beneath the surface. Yet it rises, untouched, pure. He looks at you. The lotus does not hate the mud. Without it, it could not bloom. You feel those words settle deep inside you, your own memories. The pain, the regret, the longing, they, too, are part of the mud, part of the soil from which your awareness now blossoms. When you suffer, the monk continues, remember the lotus. Do not curse the darkness. Bow to it. It is the cradle of awakening. He gestures toward the flower, now fully open, a bowl of light cradling the first touch of sunrise. The lotus is the mind that remembers, its true nature, pure, boundless, unstained by what it has passed through. I want turning right. You gaze at the flower, and for a moment, you can feel something inside you unfolding too. Slowly, delicately, like petals learning to trust the light. The monk rises, the wind catching the edge of his robe. He looks toward the horizon. The first ray of sunlight pierces the mist, and suddenly, the pond bursts into color. Gold, pink, white, each lotus illuminated from within. This, he says softly, is wisdom prajna, light that arises from understanding, not from struggle. Wilwurg signed. The sunlight touches your face, warm and forgiving. You feel your breath expand. Every inhale gathers light. Every exhale releases shadow. The monk closes his eyes, his palms joining before his heart. When light enters the mind, he says, it does not erase the darkness. It reveals what was always there. You look down again at the pond. The water, once opaque, now glows with the reflection of the morning sky. You can see the mud beneath, and yet it no longer seems dirty. It seems necessary. It seems sacred. See how the roots of the lotus live in the same mud, that the flower rises above, he says. That is you. The past is not gone. It is holding you upright. The breeze moves again, gentle, rhythmic, like breathing. The wind, the monk whispers, is the teacher of letting go. It never holds its form. It gives itself to every leaf, every petal, every wave. And yet, it is never lost. You breathe with it, slow, easy, full. The world breathes with you. Light continues to bloom. Birdsong begins to rise, soft, uncertain at first, then clear and full, like joy finding its voice again. The monk turns toward you. His face glows with the same light that fills the pond. Now you see, he says, water, wind, lotus, light. They are not separate, nor are you separate from them. The same breath moves through all things. The same truth whispers in every sound. The risen. He looks at the lotus again, its petals trembling in the breeze. To understand this is to awaken. To live this is to be free. You close your eyes. The wind brushes your skin. The scent of the lotus fills your lungs. The sound of water, the warmth of light, the movement of your breath, all blend into one. In that merging, something dissolves. The illusion of distance, of separation, of me and them, past and now. Only this remains, the endless, living flow. When you open your eyes again, the world is bright. The monk stands quietly beside you, hands folded, watching the petals tremble in sunlight. Remember this, he says gently, the lotus blooms in you too. Every moment you choose to see clearly, you rise above the mud, not to escape it, but to honor the light that was always within. You bow your head. A soft gratitude fills your chest, not as thought, but as peace. The wind sighs once more, and the pond, alive with color and reflection, seems to whisper back, everything belongs. The morning deepens. Sunlight spills across the garden, turning every leaf into a shard of gold. Mist drifts upward, melting into the air like memories dissolving into light. You stand beside the monk, watching the lotus sway. Something in you has shifted, subtle yet undeniable, like the quiet click of a door unlocking inside your chest. The monk looks toward the horizon, then back at you. His eyes are soft, yet bright with something that feels infinite. You've seen how everything connects, he says. The river, the wind, the lotus, the light. But there is one more thing to understand. He kneels, scooping a handful of water from the pond. Droplets slip through his fingers, catching the sun before falling back into the hole. Every drop is complete, he says. And yet, every drop is the ocean. You, too, are like this. The words settle over you, not as a thought, but as a vibration that hums through the body. For so long, you have carried the weight of your past, the choices, the regrets, the unanswered questions. You have wondered if it all had meaning. Now, standing here, watching sunlight scatter on water, you begin to feel something soften. Maybe nothing was wasted. Maybe nothing was random. You close your eyes. Inside the darkness, images begin to rise. You see moments, tiny, forgotten threads of your life, glimpses of joy, pain, silence, laughter, and loss. They swirl together like golden dust in sunlight. At first, they seem separate, shards of different stories. But as you watch, they begin to move toward each other, weaving themselves into one pattern, a tapestry, a wholeness, a life, and suddenly, you understand. The pain you resisted taught you gentleness. The mistakes you carried taught you humility. The endings you mourned made space for beginnings. Each thread, even the dark ones, belongs. You hear the monk's voice again, soft, almost within you now. The universe wastes nothing. What you thought was breaking you was only reshaping you. A tear falls, but it feels light, not heavy, like rain returning to the river. The monk places his hand over his heart. When you can see life this way, he says, you no longer ask, why did this happen to me? You ask, what is this showing me? You breathe in deeply. The air is warm now, alive, fragrant with morning. The world feels vast, yet close. Every sound, birdsong, wind, water, seems to pulse with the same heartbeat. You look at the monk again. So even the pain, you begin, was necessary. He nods slowly. Pain is the bell that wakes you up. It rings until you hear its message. Once you understand, it no longer hurts. It teaches. His eyes glimmer with kindness. Perhaps, he says quietly, nothing is random. The words ripple through you. You repeat them silently. Perhaps, nothing is random. They echo in the space between heartbeats. They feel like a prayer, like truth disguised as simplicity. The monk rises, and you follow. He walks toward a stone bridge that arches over the stream. The water below reflects both of you. Two figures, one shadow, moving as if guided by the same unseen current. Halfway across, he stops. Look, he says. You glance down. Beneath the bridge, the stream flows swiftly, carrying leaves, petals, fragments of light. All these things, he says, appear to be separate, each following its own path, but the river knows where to take them. They all reach the same ocean. He looks at you. So do we. A gentle breeze moves through your hair. It feels like a blessing. You watch a single petal drift past, turning, spinning, dancing upon the current. It does not fight. It simply moves, perfectly, without knowing where it goes. And in that movement, there is grace. The monk continues walking. You cross to the other side, where sunlight filters through tall bamboo. The path opens to a clearing, and there, a small shrine stands beneath a Bodhi tree. At its base, a bowl of clear water reflects the sky. The monk kneels before it. This is where I come, he says, when I forget. He takes a small cloth and wipes the dust from the bowl's rim. The surface clears. Your reflection returns. The mind, he says, is like this bowl. It gathers dust from thoughts, from memories, from fear. But the dust is not the bowl. When you remember to clean it, the light returns. Oh, he dips his fingers into the water, then sprinkles a few drops over your hands. The touch is cool, tinged with sandalwood and sunlight. You've carried so much, he says softly. Now, you can set it down. Something inside you breaks open, not in pain, but in relief. It feels like exhaling. After years of holding your breath, you look at the monk. Your voice is barely a whisper. I understand now. He smiles, the kind of smile that holds silence, not words. Understanding, he says, is like seeing the path ahead, but wisdom is learning to walk it. He rises, gesturing toward the Bodhi tree. Its leaves shimmer in the sunlight, each one trembling like a living flame. The leaves fall, he says. The tree remains. The seasons change. The roots stay deep. So it is with you. You watch one leaf detach, spiral down, and rest gently on the ground. No struggle, no noise, only release. The monk closes his eyes and breathes. In this world, he murmurs, everything returns to stillness. The question is not when, but how willing we are to rest there. You feel your breath deepen again, slow, wide, effortless. The air moves through you, like the wind through the leaves. And in that rhythm, you feel peace returning, not as a stranger, but as something you had simply forgotten. The monk opens his eyes. "You came here looking for answers," he says. "But what you found is the space where questions fade. Read." He bows gently, and in that space, life becomes clear. The wind moves again. The sunlight shifts. A bell rings in the distance. You close your eyes once more, and the world feels whole. Perhaps nothing was random. Perhaps it was all love, disguised as change. A bell rings in the distance, low, resonant. Its sound rolls gently through the valley and fades into silence. The monk stands beneath the Bodhi tree, his robe brushing softly against the earth. You stand beside him, still, quiet, as the sound dissolves into the morning air. Then comes the rain, soft at first, a whisper on leaves, a rhythm like distant drums of the sky. It falls evenly, without hurry, without choosing where to land. The monk lifts his face to the sky, eyes closed, rain touching his cheeks, mingling with the warmth of breath. You follow his lead. Let the drops fall upon your skin, cool and clean, as though the sky itself is washing something away. Each breath feels different now, lighter, unburdened. The air carries the scent of wet earth, sweet, grounding, alive. For a long while, neither of you speaks. The only sound is the music of rain upon leaves. The world narrows into rhythm, drip, pause, drip, and then, within that rhythm, you begin to hear something else. A silence that is not empty, but full of presence, full of listening. It feels as though everything, the rain, the wind, the heartbeat of the earth, is breathing with you, not separate, not other, just one vast breath, moving through many forms. The monk opens his eyes. "This," he whispers, "is where words end." You nod slowly, feeling the truth of it. Thoughts no longer have edges. The mind no longer clings to shape or story. Only stillness remains, soft and infinite. A bird calls once, then falls silent again. Its voice hangs in the air, then becomes part of the quiet. The monk kneels by the bowl of water once more. Rain ripples across its surface, thousands of tiny circles overlapping. He watches them merge. "The rain teaches us," he says. "Each drop falls alone, yet every drop becomes the same water." He looks toward you, and so it is with us. You kneel beside him. The water's surface trembles, then stills. In it, you see your reflection, blurred, fluid, alive. It feels honest. It feels enough. You breathe, and with each breath, the sense of separation thins. The air moves through you. The rain lands on you. The ground holds you, and somewhere in between, you dissolve. No boundary, no name, no you and world, only flow, only peace. The monk closes his eyes again and begins to chant softly, a single tone, low and steady, rising and falling like the tide. You don't know the words, but the sound enters you, like warmth spreading through cold water. It vibrates in your bones, your chest, your breath. It feels ancient, as if the voice carries the memory of everything that has ever known peace. You bow your head, tears come again, but this time they do not ache. They fall easily, like rain, joining what already flows. The monk's chant fades, and for a moment, the silence feels so vast that even time forgets to move. In that vastness, you sense something blooming within, a small, luminous stillness, not empty, not distant, but intimate, like a light glowing quietly behind your ribs. It does not shout, it does not explain, it simply is. You realize then, this is what you've been searching for. Not a grand revelation, not a voice from beyond, just this, the quiet, gentle knowing that you are already whole. The monk opens his eyes and smiles. He seems to see exactly what has happened. When the heart becomes still, he says. It remembers. He gestures toward the pond. The rain has slowed to a mist. The lotus flowers, each cupping small pools of water, shine like jewels in the morning light. Look closely, he whispers. The rain does not cling to the petals. It rests for a moment, then falls away. That is how you must live. You watch a droplet slide down a petal, catch the light, and disappear into the pond. For a brief instant, it reflects the entire sky. The monk continues, his tone softer than the rain. Let everything touch you, and let everything go. This is freedom. You close your eyes once more. The world breathes with you. The scent of rain, the hum of life, the silence between sounds, all become one pulse. You are aware of your body, yet it feels weightless. You are aware of the ground beneath you, yet it feels like sky. The monk's voice drifts through the stillness again. This peace was never lost, he says. It was only hidden beneath the noise of remembering. He bows slowly. You bow in return. For a moment, the two of you are simply reflections, two ripples of the same water. A soft wind moves across the pond, carrying the scent of lotus and rain. You breathe it in, deeply, fully, until you can taste the quiet. The monk straightens. His eyes are calm, yet shining. The practice, he says, is not to escape life. It is to be so fully present that even silence becomes a friend. It's resonant. You nod. Something deep within you has surrendered. The searching mind has grown quiet. The heart has grown tender. The rain slows to a stop. Drops cling to the leaves, catching the light before falling. A single bell sounds again. One clear tone, rising, fading, leaving behind a sweetness that lingers in the air. The monk turns toward the path. Come, he says softly. The day is waiting. Eek. As you walk behind him, you realize the stillness you felt by the pond doesn't stay there. It follows you. It is you. Every step feels light, as if walking through air. Every sound feels sacred. Even the silence is music. You look at the world around you, the trees, the stones, the fading mist, and everything seems alive, connected, whole. A soft smile touches your lips. You understand now. Perhaps nothing was random. Every drop, every breath, every sorrow, every joy was a path leading you here. And here, in the quiet center of your being, you are ready to rest, ready to listen, ready to let go. Notice what is arising in you now. That subtle warmth in the chest, the quiet pulse in the belly, the gentle weight of your body resting against the earth. You are here, and the world is breathing with you. Inhale, feel the air expand inside you, like a tide coming home. Exhale, and let it carry away the remnants of what once was. Every breath is an opening, every exhale, a release. Can you feel how everything changes? Even this moment, it comes, it blooms, and softly fades, like light sliding across water, like clouds passing through an endless sky. Let yourself rest in that movement, not trying to hold anything, not trying to name anything, just watching, just feeling, as life unfolds and disappears, over and over again. You are the witness, the silent space behind all experience, and in that space, nothing is missing. Now, gently bring your attention to your heart, the quiet center of all that you are. Perhaps there is still something there, a memory, a person, a feeling that lingers. Don't push it away. Don't chase it. Just notice. Notice how it rises and how it too begins to soften. As you breathe, let go of what no longer serves you. Let it drift away. Like leaves on water, they swirl for a moment, and then the river carries them downstream. You don't need to know where they will go. You only need to trust that they will find their way The heart knows how to release. The breath knows how to cleanse. You only need to allow. Inhale gently. Let the breath reach every corner of your being. Exhale slowly. Let it sweep through the spaces within, carrying away the old dust, the quiet sorrow, the stories that once felt so real. You can whisper softly to yourself, "I release you now. Thank you for what you taught me." You can rest. As you breathe, forgiveness grows, not as an effort, but as a natural unfolding, like the first blossom of spring after rain. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is remembering without pain. It is the freedom to breathe again, without the weight of the past upon your chest. Your heart becomes a quiet moon, still, bright, reflecting only what is real, no longer clinging to the storms that once crossed its sky. Feel that light spreading from your heart, soft silver light, flowing upward to your throat, so your words may be gentle, flowing to your eyes, so your seeing may be kind, flowing through your hands, so your touch may bring peace. You are becoming the calm you once sought. Breathe again, and let the edges of your body blur. You are not limited to skin and bone. You are space. You are the space where all things rise and fade. Let that truth settle. Let it wash through you. No resistance, no grasping. Every sound around you, the whisper of wind, the quiet hum of air, the faint echo of distant rain, all of it exists within you now. Nothing is outside. Nothing is separate. As you sit in this awareness, notice how soft the moment becomes. Thoughts come and go, like birds crossing an endless sky. Feelings move through like waves. Never wrong, never right, just moving. You are the ocean. The waves are just weather. They rise and they fall, and in between, there is always still water beneath. Stay there, in that still water, in that quiet depth that has always been untouched. The monk's voice returns, soft and near, as though he speaks from within you. Everything you meet, he whispers, is a mirror showing what you are ready to see. I welve, inlinged. Let those words ripple through you. What do you see now, in the clear mirror of this breath? What reflection of truth appears? When the water of the mind grows still, perhaps it is peace, perhaps it is love, perhaps it is nothing at all, and yet, everything. Let yourself rest in that seeing. Let yourself soften into it. If tears come, let them. They are the body's way of returning to flow. If silence comes, welcome it. It is the mind returning to rest. Forgive everything, even the parts that still ache, even the parts that resist. They too are learning how to let go. Breathe once more, deep, slow, the way the earth breathes after rain. And now, imagine that each breath you take is a ripple spreading outward from your heart to the world, to every being who has ever suffered. You do not need to fix them, only to breathe peace into existence. As you exhale, send a silent wish. May you be free. May you be at ease. May you remember who you are. This is compassion, not an act, but a presence. It grows naturally. When you stop resisting what is, you are no longer trying to let go. You are letting be. Let the stillness widen. Let it fill the space behind thought. Let it move through the corners of your awareness, like sunlight through water. You are ready now to rest in stillness. Nothing more to do, nothing more to understand. Just this moment, soft, endless, complete. The monk's voice fades again, leaving only silence. But it is not empty. It hums with quiet aliveness, the same aliveness that beats in your heart, moves in your breath, shimmers in every drop of rain and ray of light. You feel your heart open wider, not outward, but inward. There is no boundary between within and without. All is one breathing. Let this truth rest inside you like a seed. No need to hold it. It will bloom on its own, in its own time. Now, simply breathe. each inhale receiving life, each exhale releasing life. A perfect balance, a perfect circle. If thoughts arise, bow to them softly and let them drift away. If memories whisper, thank them and let them fade into light. You are the space where all of this happens. Wide, silent, free. Stay here, in this calm that holds everything and clings to nothing. Your heart is the quiet moon. Your breath is the wind that moves the world. Your awareness is the clear, still water, reflecting everything, keeping nothing. This is peace, not something found, but something remembered. Breathe in and let the light gather. Breathe out and let it spread. You are ready now to rest in stillness. Let the mind dissolve into quiet. Let the body melt into presence. Let everything return to where it began. This breath, this moment, this eternal now. And in the hush that follows, listen. The bell rings once more. A sound, a silence, a smile in the air. You are home. You are whole. You are free. Breathe. One more time. Slowly, deeply, as if this breath were the first and the last. Let the air move through you like a gentle wave returning to the shore. Nothing to do now, nothing to hold, only this rising and falling. The world around you grows quiet. Even the wind seems to bow. The monk stands a few steps away, still beneath the Bodhi tree. His robe moves softly in the breeze, like a part of the earth itself. He looks at you, his face calm, a still lake reflecting morning light. You have walked far, he says, and yet you have only returned to where you've always been. You smile faintly. There is no more searching, only presence, only peace. The pond glimmers nearby. Lotus petals rest on the surface, some open, some fallen, all beautiful in their own way. The rain has stopped, but droplets still cling to the leaves, catching the sunlight like tiny jewels. You sit again by the water's edge. The monk joins you in silence. A bird lands nearby, drinks, then flies away without a sound. Everything feels perfect, just as it is. The monk closes his eyes. You do the same, and as you breathe, a soft warmth fills the space between you, the quiet hum of shared stillness. This is what remains when everything else has fallen away. Not emptiness, but fullness without weight. Not silence, but a song too vast for sound. Time drifts. You don't know if minutes or hours pass. It doesn't matter. You are here, completely. Inside this stillness, the past no longer calls your name. The future no longer demands your attention. There is only this moment, soft, luminous, infinite. The monk's voice comes again, barely more than breath. Do you see now? All that you sought was never outside. The river, the lotus, the light, they were all reflections of your own heart. He opens his eyes. In their depth, you see the entire journey. The water, the wind, the faces you once longed to forget. And beneath it all, only compassion remains. When you see clearly, he says, you realize that everything, even the pain, was guiding you home. You nod. Words are no longer needed. The understanding is complete, quiet, alive. You look around once more, at the pond, the tree, the rising sun. The light touches everything equally. Nothing left out, nothing less sacred. Perhaps this is what it means to be free. You place your hand upon your heart. The beat is steady, calm, like a drum that has found its rhythm again. The monk bows. You bow in return. No teacher, no student, only two ripples, returning to the same ocean. The air grows warmer. A single petal drifts onto the surface of the pond. It floats for a while, then slowly disappears beneath the water. Not lost, just home again. Everything returns, the monk whispers. everything finds its rest. He stands, and for the first time, you see the faintest smile reach his eyes, a smile both tender and infinite. "It is time," he says. "Rest now." His voice fades like mist in sunlight. The space where he stood fills with brightness, a quiet light that touches everything, then dissolves. You are alone, and yet you are not. The air hums softly, as though the whole world is breathing with you. The sound of distant wind bells drifts through the garden, clear, fading, clear again. You lie back upon the ground. The earth beneath you feels warm and alive. Every cell of your body hums with peace. The breath moves slow, natural, like the rhythm of the tide. In an endless sea, you no longer need to think, to remember, to seek. You simply are. The mind rests. The body rests. The heart opens like the morning sky. If thoughts arise, they pass like clouds. If feelings move, they melt into air. All things rise and fall, and stillness holds them all. You are the stillness. You are the breath. You are the quiet space in which life continues its gentle dance. Somewhere above, the clouds part. A ray of sunlight touches your face, warm, real, alive. And in that warmth, you feel the truth that the monk had spoken all along. You were never broken. You were never lost. You were only remembering. Breathe in once more. Feel the life moving through you. Breathe out and let it carry everything home. Each breath now is a prayer without words, a rhythm of gratitude. Thank you for the river. Thank you for the mud. Thank you for the lotus that bloomed. Thank you for the light that never left. The air grows still again. Only the sound of your heartbeat remains. Soft, steady, in tune with the breath of the world. You are home. You are peace. You are the quiet between each bell's ringing. Rest here. Stay as long as you need. There is nowhere else to go. Nothing else to find. You are already what you've been seeking. You are already whole. Let the body sleep, if it wishes. Let the mind dissolve into light and quiet. The journey has ended, and yet it has only begun, because every breath from this moment forward will carry the same truth. A quiet remembering that peace was never somewhere else. It was always here. Breathe, soften, rest. You are home now, completely, at peace, at last.